guys, I'm Bethany and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you're here and I'm so excited. I literally say that in every video, but I'm excited for every video. So many cars drive by my house and I'm trying to film and like, man. Anyways, today's a reading vlog. I'm so excited because I haven't really done a reading vlog recently. Well, I did one on Akawar, but I didn't like it. So it wasn't that great of a reading vlog. It was kind of a very not fun, but today is going to be a very fun one. I'm so excited. I might keep this like a, I might make this like a, what am I trying to say? A series on my channel. I might make this a series on my channel, and that is reading my friends' favorite books. So that's what we're going to be doing today. This is episode 1 if I do this as a series, but I thought it'd be so fun to read my friends' favorite books because I was looking and I have like one of my friends all of her favorite books, so I'm going to read them in this video and tell you my thoughts. So you probably know her, you probably watch her on YouTube, Allie reads. If you don't watch her, you should. She is so funny, love her videos, love her book recs. I met her through Bookstagram and then she made a YouTube channel. She's the best. And today I'm going to be reading her favorite books. Some of these I might not end up reading in this video, but we shall see how it goes. I'm at least going to try. I'm going to attempt to read all of these books in this video, but first is going to be Defend the Dawn, second book after Defy the Night. I love Defy the Night, and I'm very excited to continue the trilogy. It's so good. It's YA, fantasy, there's romance in it. Yeah, love it. And then I just bought this book yesterday. I am so excited. It's Call It What You Want by Bridget Kimmerer, same author of this book. Allie raves about this book. Obviously all these are her favorite books, but I feel like I've heard her talk about this book so many times and I've never read it. It's a YA romance and honestly don't really know much about it. So I'm very excited. I've heard it's like an emotional romance, but it's YA, which I find very interesting because I feel like the only YA books I've read were like very like fluffy rom-coms. So very excited to read this. I kind of want to read it now, even though I've already started Defend the Dawn, but you know, we shall see. And then I have her two other, I think these are basically her favorite books of all time. Normal People by Sally Rooney. I got this at a liquidation sale at my work actually, before I started working there. And it was because she loves it. That's the only reason I'm reading it. And then the last one, Allie's gonna be so excited about this. The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This is actually my husband's book. He bought it, or he got it and read it. I just got it off his bookshelf because I know she loves this book. I don't know if I'm gonna read it in this video, but I have it to read. So there you go. Those are the 4 books that I have that I'm going to attempt to read in this video. I'm definitely gonna read the bottom 2, but the top 2, we shall see. I'm very excited to do this reading vlog. It's gonna be so fun. And I'm very excited just to like hang out and read, chill. And I trust her book recommendations. I love Defy the Night, so I have a feeling the rest of these are gonna be very good, but they're probably gonna be very emotional. I feel like all these books are gonna be so emotional. And I don't know if I should have done that. Maybe I should have broken them up, but oh well, let's get into it. Hello guys, it is a couple of days later and I thought I would update you on the book I'm reading. So I read another book that wasn't for this video and then I decided to finish Defend the Dawn. So I read a very good bit of this morning at work. I got off early, but I read like 100 pages at work, which is great. And I'm on page 213, like halfway-ish, a little over halfway. And at first I was a little slow. I feel like the first book ends and this one picks up right after that, but I don't know, it was kind of not necessarily politics, but kind of like they were having meetings and things like that, so it was kind of like slow and I wanted more romance. My dogs are playing right now. I don't know, I got to page like 70 last night, and when I started reading this morning I got really interested, so I think around there, like 70 to 100, it started to pick up, and I haven't wanted to put it down, so I plan to finish this today because I need to know what's gonna happen. And I'm getting nervous because there is more romance, which I love, but someone else has been introduced like in the book as in general, and I think I don't trust him. So I'm a little nervous about that, but so far it's so good. I don't think I'm going to rate it as high as Defy the Night just because the beginning was a little slow for me. Like right now it's sitting at like a 4.5, but we shall see because obviously I have half of it to go and I feel like the second half is gonna be wild. Like I'm kind of scared, but the second half is just gonna be really good because I feel like we're building up to something that's happening. Anyways, if you've read this book, let me know. We can talk about it, but yeah, so that's what I'm reading. Wanted to give you an update. Really loving it so far. Love the characters. I feel like it's very easy to understand and it's not like confusing. You know, the language isn't confusing. It is YA, so there's like no spice or anything, but I still feel like it's not like super young in the way it's written. It's still like enjoyable to read and not feel like you're reading a book that was meant for like, you know, teenagers, you know, unless you are a teenager, but this is would be a good book for you. It's very interesting. It's gonna keep you on the edge of your seat and I like want to read it. I want to keep reading it. Okay, my dogs are playing, but anyways, want to give you an update. Hopefully gonna finish this today and then start another book tomorrow. So that's my update. Okay guys, I'm crying because a moment just happened and it was so sweet. It was like a moment we've been like waiting to happen for the whole book basically. I'm on page 325 and I like couldn't stop myself from crying because it was so sweet. I was like, finally this happened, but I know this isn't gonna end well. Like I know there's gonna be a cliffhanger at the end of this book and I might have read ahead to find out what it is because I wanted to make sure, of something, therefore I read the end so I know it's gonna go downhill. But right now it was so good. So good, and I cannot wait to finish this, and I know it's going to continue to be good. Like I kind of stopped to midway, like right after the sweet moment, and then like it's gonna continue and I think something's gonna happen and I'm so excited. Like something's like, it's just gonna continue being good, you know what I mean? Anyways, that's all. I'll let you know any more updates when I finish. We shall see. I just finished this book and the end was literally insane. I'm like, what in the world? I did like look ahead, but I still like a lot of things that happened in the moments between the chapter I was reading and when I looked at the end. A lot happened that I'm shook by, and I need to read the third book because it's like a huge cliffhanger that I'm like, what in the world? I need the next book, but it doesn't come out until next January. So I'm gonna be sitting here thinking about what could possibly be the end of the series. But I think that book is going to be like insane. Like the whole way through, I feel like it's gonna be like you're on the edge of your seat, like trying to figure out what happens and waiting for what happens, you know? I don't know, but it was wild. So there you go, the first book of this video. Allie, as we know, gives great book recs, and I love this so much. I loved the first one probably more. I think I'm gonna give this a 4.5 just because like the beginning was a little slow and I feel like it wasn't like a perfect 5-star read like Defy the Night was, but I still really enjoyed it, and I feel like it was such a good continuation like of the first book, and I'm very excited for the third book to find out what happens, what the end of this is. And I would like highly recommend it if you're looking for like a fantasy book with romance that like you'll be able to understand but also will be interesting and like will keep you on the edge of your seat. Like you want to know what happens, and like plot twists. I feel like there's a lot of plot twists in these books, which I really like because sometimes I'm like, you can kind of tell something's coming, but in the first book specifically something happened and I was like, you're kidding. Like I was shocked. And kind of in this book I was like, what in the world? Like things happened, I was like so confused how that happened. Like I wasn't expecting it. But yeah, highly recommend. Really enjoyed it, and I think you should read the series if you're needing fantasy and you want to have a good time. Like you want to enjoy a book and not want to put it down. This is a great series for you to pick up. It was so good, and I love the characters. The romance is so good. I'm just so excited and I can't wait to read more of her books. She has another series. I think it's on the back of this one. Where is that? A Curse So Dark and Lonely. It's another fantasy series. I think it's finished. I don't know what it's about, but maybe I'll read that. But I do have Call It What You Want also by her, so that I plan to read in this video. So anyways, that is my review of Defend the Dawn. I highly recommend it. I think you should read the series. It was so good. One of my favorite series. I talk about it in my series video, or my series like recommendations. My favorite series of all time. And I said I think it's gonna be a favorite, and now that I finished Defend the Dawn, it's definitely a favorite. Like it was just so good. So highly recommend. Really enjoyed it. And now I'm going to start supper before my husband gets home. But yeah, that's my review. Thank you, Allie, for recommending this. Saturday now. It's been a couple days since I filmed. I read a book in between Defend the Dawn and this new one, and obviously I didn't film it, so it's Saturday morning. I'm reading before I have to shoot a wedding. Just enjoying my morning. I started Call It What You Want and I'm on page 24. So barely started it. And the chapters are so short. They're like 3 pages, and I love that. I love short chapters. I feel like it makes you want to keep reading. It makes it engaging, and it's really enjoyable. So basically this is a YA romance about Rob and Megan. So Rob lost everything when his dad was caught embezzling funds from half the town and he attempted suicide, and then Megan got caught cheating on her SATs or something like that, and then they were paired together for a calculus project. That's all I know so far. That's what's on the back of the book, but that's pretty much all that's happened so far. There's definitely almost like an outcast in a way, because people like, because his dad embezzled funds and like stole money from all these people, and she like cheated on the SATs and like ruined the scores for everyone else. Like no one will talk to either of them, and so it's kind of like now they're talking to each other. I don't know, but it's good so far. Enjoying it. I probably won't read much more until tonight, but I think I'm definitely gonna finish it this weekend. I read a book after Defend the Dawn and before this one, and I didn't love it. So I've been so excited to pick this book up because I know it's going to be good. Like I have a feeling I'm really going to enjoy it, so. Quiet because my husband is asleep in our room, but it is 12:38 and I just finished Call It What You Want. I have to be up at 5:15 to go to work, so I'm gonna go to bed, but I loved it so much. I literally couldn't put it down, and I read it so quick. Like I literally am confused how I read it so quick. Like I was on page 80 at like 8 o'clock and I just finished it, and it's like 369 pages, so I don't really know how I read it so fast. It is YA, so it's very easy to read, but anyways, really loved it. I'm leaning towards 5 stars because I just loved it so much, but I'll let you know tomorrow because I literally need to go to bed. But anyways, finished it. Allie, there's just something in these books. I don't know what it is. Bridget Kimmerer, I'm gonna have to buy more of her books because they're so good. Okay, that's all. I'm gonna go to sleep. Okay guys, it is quite a few days later and I'm finally here to talk about the book that I finished in the last clip, Call It What You Want, because I didn't do that. But before, I just wanted to say, do I need to zoom out? Yep, there we go. That I will not be reading any more books in this video because I don't want to. I'm trying to not read books that I don't want to read, and therefore I'm not reading any more books in this video because I tried to read Normal People and the trigger warnings are just gonna be too much for me. Same with the Song of Achilles. And I was talking to Allie and she was like, actually I was gonna tell you I don't think you'll like Normal People, so I'm not going to read it, and I'm not gonna read the Song of Achilles. And that is the end of this video. I'm going to tell you my thoughts on Call It What You Want and like kind of a wrap up of the books I read, and that is this video. I love this book. I thought it was so good. I literally couldn't put it down and I flew through it. Like I literally read it probably the fastest I've ever read a book in my life. It is YA, so that's probably why it's like very easy to read, like super, you know, simple language, like very easy to understand. And it was adult POV and the romance was just so good, and I've like wanted to know what happened, even though obviously we all know how romances end, but like the storyline in this book, I wanted to know how that was gonna end. I loved it so much, but I am giving it a 4.75 because I felt like the ending was a little rushed. Like we got to the ending and it just like wrapped up like in a couple chapters, and I was like, oh, which is kind of annoying. I hate when a book does that. I feel like that happens to me a lot. Like I'll read a book and it'll feel like a 5-star when I start it, like the pacing will be good, the like characters, the plot, the angst, the slow burn, like everything is perfect, and then it gets to the end and it's just like really speedy, like wrapping up really quick, and I'm like, well, it ruined the book. It didn't ruin the book, but it just didn't get a 5 stars. But I did really love it. Like I loved it so much. I feel like I would recommend it to so many people. I think if you like Archer's Voice, you'd really like this. If you like just any type of book where the two main characters are like struggling with something and they like find help within each other, if you like that type of book, you'll really love this book. It is YA, so there's no spice. It is more of an emotional YA romance, which I really enjoyed because I feel like all the other romances that I've read that are YA have been like rom-coms, and so this is definitely more like on the emotional side. I literally like felt giddy and had butterflies when I was reading the romantic parts, and like, you know, the build up when they like kissed for the first time. Like it was so good. Like I literally was giddy, and I love when I have that feeling. I feel like it's not rare, but I feel like whenever I have that like really good feeling, it's like, It's a very sacred feeling when it comes to a romance book, so I definitely had that with this book. I love the main character, the male main character, Rob. He is literally an angel. I just wanted to hug him and like tell him that everything was gonna be okay because he was so sweet. Like, it was just adorable, and the romance was so good, and I just love the premise. I feel like the premise was very like unique. It's kind of like an outcast situation, and it was very interesting. Even though it's set in a high school, you don't feel like you're reading like a young book. It feels like, you know, like, I don't know how to explain it. It feels like anybody could enjoy it and read it and enjoy it. If you like Archer's voice, this is a little bit less emotional than that because that is adult and this is YA. So I feel like you really like this. You should definitely pick it up. And I loved it. So 4.75, highly recommend. And now let's do a little wrap up of the books I read, even though I only read 2. First, I read Defend the Dawn by Bridget Kimmer. I love this book. I gave it 4.5 stars. It was so good. The beginning was a little slow, so that's why it didn't get a full 5 stars, but highly recommend the series. I think it's so good, so easy to read, so easy to understand, very fast paced. The romance is so good, and the cliffhanger was incredible at the end of this book. So very excited for the 3rd one that comes out in January. You should read Defy the Night and then read this one. And then, as you just heard, I gave this a 4.75, call it what you want. Loved it so much. It was such a good romance, and I feel like a book I will definitely want to reread because I just loved it that much. So there you go. Those are the books that I read in this video, and I love them so much. Allie has a great taste in books, truly. Literally love her book recs. I feel like when she recommends a book and I read it, I always enjoy it, and you will not go wrong with any book that she recommends. So you should watch her on YouTube if you haven't. She's literally incredible. I love her, and I think she makes the best content. She has the best book recs, and I think you'll really enjoy her. If you watch my videos, you'll definitely love her. She's the best. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. My dogs are playing right now, but that's all. Hope you enjoy this video, and I'll see you very soon for my next one. Bye.